always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it.
Our target derives the relationship of geometric figures using measurement and inductive reasoning. Supplementary angles, complementary angles, congruent angles, vertical angles, adjacent angles, linear pair, perpendicular lines, and parallel lines. So we have complementary angles. Complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. We have angle A. The measure of angle A is 60 degrees. We have angle B. The measure of angle B is 30 degrees. So we need to find the sum of the measures of angle A and angle B. The sum of the measures of angle A and angle B is 90 degrees. Therefore, we can conclude that angle A and angle B are complementary angles because the sum of the two angles is equal to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles are two angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Look at angle A. What is the measure of angle A? The measure of angle A is 150 degrees. Look at angle B. What is the measure of angle B? The measure of angle B is 30 degrees. If we find the sum of the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B, what is the sum? The sum is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, angle A and angle B are supplementary angles because the sum of the measures of the two angles is equal to 180 degrees. We need to find the complement of the following angles. Two angles are complementary if the sum of the measures of the two angles is 90 degrees. So we have 10 degrees. What is missing to 10 degrees to make it 90 degrees? What is our result? The result is 80 degrees. How about in 50 degrees? What is the answer? The answer is 75 degrees. For 80 degrees, what is the answer? The answer is 10 degrees. For 54 degrees, what is the result? The result is 36 degrees. For 78 degrees, what is the result? The result is 12 degrees. And for 36 degrees, what is the result? The result is 54 degrees. We need to find the supplement of the following angles. We have 3 degrees. What is missing to 3 degrees to make it 180 degrees? We have 177 degrees. For 90 degrees, we have 90 degrees. For 40 degrees, we have 140 degrees. For 110 degrees, we have 70 degrees. For 179 degrees, we have 1 degree. And for 84 degrees, we have 96 degrees. We have congruent angles. Congruent angles are angles with exactly the same measure. Look at angle G. The measure of angle G is 42 degrees. For angle S, the measure of angle S is 42 degrees. So we can say that angle G is congruent to angle S. Angle G is congruent to angle S. This is the symbol for congruent. Why? According to the definition, congruent angles are angles with exactly the same measure. We have angle R. What is the measure of angle R? 155 degrees. We have angle Q. What is the measure of angle Q? 155 degrees. So angle R and angle Q have the same measure. Therefore, angle R is congruent to angle Q. Vertical angles are pair of angles formed when two lines intersect. Vertical angles are sometimes referred to as vertically opposite angles because the angles are opposite to each other. So we have angle A. Angle A and angle B are vertical angles. We have angle C and angle D. Angle C and angle D are vertical angles. So vertical angles are congruent. So it means that the measure of the two angles, angle B and angle A, are the same, and the measure of angle C and angle D are also the same. We need to name all the vertical angles in the figure below. So look at our figure. We need to look at vertical angles. We have angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles. Next, we have another one. We have angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 3 and angle 4 are vertical angles. Then, we have angle 5 and angle 6. Angle 5 and angle 6 are vertical angles. We have the next. We have angle 7 and angle 8. Angle 7 and angle 8 are vertical angles. So, as we have said a while ago, vertical angles are congruent. If we have angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, therefore, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So we have angle 3 and angle 4. The two angles are also vertical angles. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. We have angle 5 and angle 6 are also vertical angles. Therefore, angle 5 is congruent to angle 6. We have 7 and 8 are vertical angles. Therefore, angle 7 is congruent to angle 8. Adjacent angles are two angles that have a common vertex and a common side but do not overlap. So we have the first figure. In our first figure, we have the given angles, angle 1 and angle 2, have a common side. This is the common side. So angle 1 and angle 2 have a common vertex, and this is the common vertex. So therefore, angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles. We can proceed with the next figure. So we have angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 3 and angle 4 doesn't have a common vertex. Therefore, angle 3 and angle 4 are not adjacent angle. We can proceed with the next figure. We have angle ABD, which is represented by angle 5, and angle CBE, which is represented by angle 6. So angle 5 and angle 6 possesses a common vertex, but the two angles are overlapping. If the two angles are overlapping, therefore, the two angles are not adjacent. We have the next number. We have angle 7 and angle 8. Angle 7 and angle 8 have a common side, a common vertex. So we can consider angle 7 and angle 8 as adjacent angle, and at the same time, the two angles are linear pairs. So we need to find the measures of the following angle. We need to find the measure of angle 2. So this is angle 2. So angle 2 and angle 1 are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. Therefore, what is the measure of angle 2? The measure of angle 2 is 50 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 7. Angle 7 and angle 8 are vertical angles, and the measure of angle 8 is 30. Therefore, what is the measure of angle 7? The measure of angle 7 is also 30 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 4. So, angle 3 and angle 4 are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. The measure of angle 3 is 60. Therefore, the measure of angle 4 is also 60 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 5. Looking at the figure, from angle 7 to angle 3, we have a protractor. So the measure of angle 7 is 30 degrees. 30 plus 50. What is 30 plus 50? That is 80. 80 plus 60 is 140. So, from angle 7 to angle 3, we have 180 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 5, that is 180 minus 140. Therefore, the answer, the measure of angle 5 equals 40 degrees. Linear pairs. Two angles that are adjacent, share a leg, and supplementary add up to 180 degrees. Look at our figure. We have angle 1 and angle 2. The two angles share a leg. The leg is the green one, the blue-green. So angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angle. At the same time, the two angles are supplementary, and we can call the two angles as linear pairs. We have also angle 3 and angle 4. Angle 3 and angle 4 share a leg, and the two angles are adjacent. At the same time, they form a linear pair. So if we find the sum of angle 3 and angle 4, that is equal to 180 degrees. It is also true with angle 5 and angle 6. Angle 5 and angle 6 are adjacent. At the same time, it share a leg. This is the leg, and the two angles are supplementary. So we have linear pair and vertical angles. This is angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. 2 and 3 also form a linear pair. And 3 and this angle form a linear pair. Do not forget that vertical angles are congruent, and the angles in a linear pair are supplementary. So 1 and this angle is equal to 180 degrees. So if we want to find the measure of angle 2 and this angle are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So what is the measure of angle 2? So the angle 2 is 30 degrees. How about the relation of angle 1 and this angle? The two angles are supplementary. Therefore, this is 180. 180 minus 30. This one is 150. And vertical angles are congruent. So angle 1 is 150. Angle 3 is 150. And angle 2 is 30 because vertical angles are congruent. So again, what is the measure of angle 1? The measure of angle 1 is 150 degrees. How about the measure of angle 2? So vertically so the measure of angle 2 is 30 degrees. How about the measure of angle 3? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 because vertical angles are congruent. If this is 150, this is also 150. So what is the measure of angle 3? The measure. So we have perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect to form a right angle. This is line N. This is line N. line M is perpendicular to line N. So this is the symbol for a right angle. So if the two lines intersect, it forms four right angles. This is one right angle, another right angle, another right angle, and this is another right angle. This is read as M is perpendicular to N. The inverted symbol, the inverted T means perpendicular. Again, this is read as M is perpendicular to N. So we have perpendicular lines and vertical angles. We need to find the measures of the following angles. It is stated here that line PA is perpendicular to line PB. So this is line PA. This one is line PB. The two lines are perpendicular. Therefore, we have four right angles. This is one right angle, another right angle, another right angle. So we have four right angles. We need to find the measure of angle 1. What is the measure of angle 1? This is a right angle. This is also a right angle. Therefore, the measure of angle 1 is 90 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 2. So, we have vertical angles here. So, therefore, what is the measure of angle 2? The measure of angle 2 is also 30 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 3. So, how do we find the measure of angle 3? This is a right angle. The measure of this one is 30. So, therefore, we have 90 minus 30. This is 60. So, if this is 60, the measure of angle 3 is also 60 degrees. Two straight lines that do not intersect, no matter how far they are extended. So we have line L and we have line N. So the two arrows represent that line L is parallel to line M. So the symbol for parallel line are two vertical lines. So determine if the segments are parallel or perpendicular. We have the figure. The figure is a cube. That is a cube. If that is a cube, we need to determine whether it is parallel or perpendicular. We have segment DA. This is segment DA. And we have segment CB. So segment DA and segment CB are what? The two lines are parallel. We have another segment DH and segment HG. This is segment DH. This is segment HG. So what angle is formed here? So we have a right angle. Therefore, the lines are perpendicular. We have segment CB and segment GF. This is segment CB. This is segment GF. The two lines are parallel. Then we have another one, segment CG, and segment GF. That is a box. Therefore, this is a right angle. So we have So, determine if the figure are adjacent angle or adjacent angle, linear pairs, vertical angles, or perpendicular line. We are in the first number. We have angle 1 and angle 2. What can you say about angle 1 and angle 2? Do you think the angles are adjacent, linear, vertical, or perpendicular? So, the answer is adjacent angle. We have angle M and angle N. So, do you think the angles are adjacent, linear, vertical, perpendicular lines? So, actually, the two angles are adjacent. At the same time, being an adjacent angle, the two angles form a linear pair. So, we can make use of adjacent at the same time linear. We have this figure. This is a symbol for a right angle. So we have line S and line T. Therefore, the given lines are what? The lines are perpendicular. So we have angle 3 and angle 4. What can you say about angle 3 and angle 4? So they are opposite each other. Therefore, angle 3 and angle 4 are vertical angles. Thank you very much for watching.